Tampa Bay Buccaneers mock draft courtesy of ProFootballNetwork.com. Let's start things off here. Round 1, pick number 27. You have them taking Perrion Winfrey, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. And I think the first thing that came to mind when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, you're going to pair a dude like that on the interior with Vita Vea in 2022 with the pass rushers that they have with Shaq Barrett. Okay, you know what? That defense is going to be even more difficult to run on if you're an opposing team.
Yeah, Perrion Winfrey is a dude I love for the upside. I mean, for what he can become. Again, that's the mantra today, what they can become. And what Perrion Winfrey can become is an absolute nightmare on that interior line. Again, put him at 3 tech. As far as I know, as of now, they haven't re-signed Ndamukong Suh. I know he was lobbying for Todd Bowles to do it now that Bowles has been elevated, but we don't know if that's going to happen yet. So you have a void at 3 tech opposite Vita Vea. So I would get Perrion Winfrey in there right now. The thing with Winfrey, man, is the tools are elite. All right. This guy was at the Senior Bowl and he was dominant all week. He was one of the best players on the field. 6'3", 5'8", 290 pounds, 35 and 1/4 inch arms. So this guy's got crazy length. And with that length, he has insane power generation capacity. And he showed it at the Senior Bowl. He was getting inside guys' torsos and driving them back on one rep against Nick Sakelj from Fordham. He drove him back 20 yards and he did not stop. His motor was going the entire week. He loved being out there, and he ran a 4.89 at the NFL Combine. So again, the full 40 isn't quite as important for defensive tackles, but he's explosive. He's got that juice off the line. Some of the issues carried over from 2020 to 2021, the hand usage could be a little more precise, a little more consistent, and he came up with his pad level too high a lot. He's got to surge his pads a little bit more lower and keep that leverage. But again, it didn't matter because he's so violent. He's so relentless. He's always pursuing the quarterback, and the tools are elite. So Perrion Winfrey is a guy, especially putting him next to Vita Vea, who can occupy 2 guys and free up Winfrey with one-on-one opportunities. This guy can eat. I love Perrion Winfrey to the Buccaneers, and this is one of my favorite fits in the entire draft.
I know we've talked about this for the last year plus. The quarterback class this year is a little bit lackluster, but I think there's been some guys who have really kind of taken that next step forward. Look at the guys like Malik Willis's, Matt Corral, Sam Howell, even Desmond Ridder took a massive step forward thanks to help with the pro days. You've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers kind of double dipping back all they did last year, looking for that next heir apparent to Tom Brady, this time with Carson Strong, the quarterback out of Nevada, who's kind of been a little bit more under the radar while some of these other guys have really kind of taken these next step forward. Do you just think this is more of a great fit right here, or just partially to do with some of maybe the lack of trust in what Kyle Trask might be able to develop to in the future?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything, right? Okay, well, first off, I wasn't very high on Kyle Trask. I thought, could be a good backup, but again, the arm talent just wasn't there, and he's not mobile at all. He's a guy who can be a good backup. He has that to him, but starting upside, I'm not sure he has that. If you're a pocket passer, I need you to be poised. I need you to have a great arm. And I need you to be able to layer the ball and push it downfield. And I think Carson Strong at least has that. He's got that strong arm. We saw that at the Senior Bowl. He had a ton of zip on it. There were some times where the mechanics got away from him and he looped them, especially on those deep balls on Wednesday. But, he has the arm talent. It shows up time and time again on that Nevada film where he can generate a ton of velocity. He can push it down the field with ease. He's not really forcing it. You can tell. So he's got the talent that Kyle Trask lacks. And again, too, late round 2, 60th pick. At this point, if there is a quarterback with Carson Strong's talent still left on the board, it's worth the swing at this point because it's a potential low risk, high upside reward for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He doesn't have to play right away with Tom Brady coming back. Let him sit for a year, take in the system, and then maybe when he's ready, the Buccaneers still have a pretty solid offensive line, a couple voids to fill, but no, it's pretty solid all around still, even losing Alex Kappa and Ali Marpet. So you're looking at that because they brought back Shaq from the Patriots as well. So, they were able to maintain it. They have the weapons still. So I think it's a good situation for Carson Strong to develop. And again, the arm talent is just there. And it's something that Kyle Trask doesn't have.
Kyle Trask also got bailed out by being able to play with Kyle Pitts and Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, that helped a little bit.
That helped a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it helps when you have talent like that. But let's take a look now at the defensive side of the ball here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Round 3, pick number 91. They have them taking Martin Emerson, cornerback out of Mississippi State. Now, a little intriguing here considering the fact that, look, luckily enough, they were able to get Carlton Davis back in free agency. The hope is that secondary now can stay healthy. Obviously, losing safety help in NFL free agency with Jordan Whitehead departing for them at the safety position. Interesting enough, why corner here and not safety?
Yeah, I think with corner, it's just one of those things. Having enough athletic corners is something that you really need, and especially with the Buccaneers. Even though they're getting guys back, they're healthy. they have dealt with injury issues in the past. So it's one of those positions, especially in this class, the value is the depth at the cornerback position. So I think getting that depth, investing in a round 3 pick, you know, if you can get Martin Emerson, he's a guy that I have valued in the early round 2 range. I absolutely love this dude. So I think at this point, while it might not be quite as big of a need as safety, I still think you could maybe get a guy like Brian Cook in round 4. Obviously, they went in a different direction in this mock draft, but there are safety options early day 3 who could fill that role that you're looking for alongside Antoine Winfield. In regards to Martin Emerson, this is a guy who has very good size, around 6'1", 5'8", 203 pounds. I think arms over 33 inches. I had to go back and check, but he's a long dude. You can tell on tape. He's got a wide disruption radius, and he's explosive, great closing speed coming downhill. Processes very well. You know, that click and close is near elite with him. He's very good at that. Great in run support, physical, ball skills, you know, just provides a very complete picture. I could see him developing into a Carlton Davis-like pro, you know, at his max projection. He's got the tools to do it. Athleticism, size, especially if you're looking like, you know, a guy like Ahmad Gardner. You love his size and athleticism, but if you want the value later on, I think Martin Emerson in round 2 or round 3 provides comparable value there because he's got the size and the athleticism and the physicality that Gardner's known for. So I'm a big fan of Emerson. He's in my top 50 when my big board drops, but, you know, I think especially for the value here, late in round 3, it's something you got to pounce on.
Yeah, in the NFL draft, finding value is the only thing that matters. You kind of do the same thing here later on in the rest of the draft for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In round 4, getting Justin Schaefer, the guard out of Georgia. In round 7, Keontae Ingram, the running back out of USC, kind of pairing in the backfield right now with maybe like a Keyshawn Vaughn, who's going to be the number 3 in the backfield. And then their final pick with Colby Harvell-Peel, the safety out of Oklahoma State.
A variety of picks here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No more Bruce Arians going into 2022. Todd Bowles will be the head coach. Does this impact maybe future mock drafts here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Be sure to check out the latest at ProFootballNetwork.com.